Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin. I'll cover wave analysis with the Elliott Waves theory and provide multiple scenarios your price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on 30-minute time frame and looking at the structures starting from these highs over here around 22.8k around the 13th of September. Since then we've had this as a possible three-way structure coming down. And let me bring out the count down so we can be following it. Three-way structure here as an ABC into W, three-way pullback into a W as well, three ways into X, and then three ways into wave Y. The wave Y can be labeled from here, here, or something like this as well. Does not matter. The point is that it starts from here, ends here, and that would be the end of wave X. Again, 0.5 retracement of this original move of that wave W for that wave X, and now we would be looking for a partner leg somewhat comparable to this first leg of wave W downwards. So that's the higher time frame main idea that I'm looking after. I'm not really focused on this count at the moment, but again, just focusing on the structures from here on out. So I'm still trying to see if I can get a three-way structure coming down. Of course, we had the possibility of creating some kind of diagonal here. While we have not taken out these lows yet, that is of course still a possibility, but the longer we are just whittling around on this range, the less likely it's going to be, because again, while it should be a contracting diagonal, each subsequent wave should be getting smaller and smaller in time as well. So this getting so large already is giving a bit too many chances for this to be something else as well. So that's why I'm not really tracking that as my main anymore. Now, if we are zooming into the 15-minute time frame, we had two different ideas. One was saying that we had this as a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 5 into possible wave 1. Now, of course, could this be something else than a wave 1? Of course it can. It could be a wave A already, like this, and then this would be a wave B, and then C. But again, we had a very small retracement here. Now, generally, again, for a wave B, we want to be seeing that 38.2 retracement, and we are so far off of it. It does not really make too much sense to me that wave B would be just this much of retracement. It just doesn't make too much sense. So that's why I feel like I might be preferring the idea of having this as a wave 1. However, it does not really fit into the idea of this count, because again, we would be looking for a three-way structure. Now, the 1-to-1 in price for this wave Y here, comparing that to the wave W, would be around the 16.4k. So there is definitely going to be a lot of space here. However, if this is going to be a wave 1 at that point, the wave 3 generally goes to the 1.618 already, and even without extensions, the expected fifth would go to the 2.236, and that would be just the wave 5 waves. Our first 5 waves. And again, as we are expecting a three-way structure into the wave Y, that would be making a 5-way structure like this, three-way pullback, and then, well, most likely it is going to be taking out the 1.618 here as well, unless this last leg would be very short in price comparison. So that's why I don't generally like this too much at the moment. Of course, there is a possibility that is going to be happening, but there is, of course, other possibilities around as well. So let's take a look at those other possibilities. Now, we were tracking that as well. Instead of having this as a 5-way structure, we would have this as a 3 ways, like so, into W, 3 ways into X. Of course, the X wave did not really reach any of the retracement targets here either. We can see that we are so far off of that 38.2 that it doesn't really make too much sense in that scenario. But again, we had a really good retracement here on RSI already into that possible wave X, basically retracing hold this move before heading downwards again. And the idea of having that coming down to was targeting the 18.4, which would have been taking out the previous lows here, getting some liquidity before going upwards. And we are still heading that way. We are taking possible pit stop here, where we had the 1-to-1 extension of this possible A wave here into B and then C wave, and C wave again was just hit the 1-to-1 here before now possibly reversing or creating a possible wave 4 here if this indeed can be counted as 5 waves. This for sure is very overlapping as a structure, so I feel like we need to be giving it some kind of structure like this, where we have to just say, okay, it's just some kind of expanding diagonal. Again, not really my favorite, but in this case we have to deal with it as one, or as such, I guess. 1-to-1 extension on this WXY, wave Y, would be around that 18.4k, where we have these lower extension targets. So indeed, if we are just creating a third here, fourth would be up, and then possibly creating that divergence at the lows, and getting right onto that 18.4k. I definitely could see us heading up higher to create another wave structure, to create something like this before heading down again for lower prices. And I feel like that is still my primary at the moment. Looking for some kind of a low here to be made on smaller time frame. I would expect us some kind of divergence at the lows on both of these counts, because again, here we are tracking the C wave on this WXY count, and on the other count we would be looking for, well, this would most likely be a 1-2, 1-2, so 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, at least something like that, and that would be looking for third, but yeah, that would most likely be just a wave 1 of higher time frame, and then 2 upwards and then downwards again. So both of these are looking very scalp scalp longs here after some kind of divergence has been formed, but of course that is not anything concrete, and we can just dump downwards. So you have to be careful with that. Again, that would be counter trading against the overall trend on this count, but looking for the possible reversal on the other. So again, at this point, these counts are a bit contracting each other, so that they're not really too reliable, and they both are not really looking at the same direction overall, at least. So yeah, have to be careful for sure. But I feel like that is pretty much all the expectations again today. Today is going to be a really volatile day. Soon there's going to be CPI data. We'll see how that is going to take and see what kind of volatility it brings into the market. I'm going to be remaining my short until some kind of structure forms here and shows me something different. Invalidation basically for this idea is around here, taking out the start of this C wave, and for the other one would be pretty much the same again, because this was thought to be a wave 2, so around the 19.25. So yeah, at least it has both sharing the same invalidation of the ideas. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to share. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.